So I'd have to fabric cobble up something like this, angle the existing wings back, make myself a 45-degree bracket, weld it here, and then weld the caster to the bottom of it. So that'll get the bottom of the caster up without raising the rest of the frame and the drill press up. I've started my layout here. I clamped the caster excuse me, to the end of the channel iron, and I rotated it such that when this notch is cut and this piece is bent to form a 45-degree angle, I will have clearance, so this wheel won't hit this after this angle is formed. So I just took my little protractor, described a line across here, so each one is 22.5 degrees on each side of the line. So when this notch is cut and this is bent, the included angle is going to be 45 degrees total. Say in the shipyard, get a bigger hammer. I don't know if you can see that or not. Focus. Protractor set at 45 degrees. I would say that looks good. So I'll clamp this on both sides. Got a little gap in there, which is perfect for welding. I'll clamp that, tack weld it really good, let it cool, and then we'll move on to the next step. Oh, by the way, the welding rod I'm using is 6011. Now, I've said many times in the past, I'm not a welder, I'm a gorilla globber. But in case you're curious about the numbers on a welding rod, the first two numbers, in this case 60, indicate the tensile strength per square inch. So in this case, that's 60,000 pounds per square inch tensile strength. The third number indicates that the number one, that the rod can be used in all positions: horizontal, vertical, upside down, backwards, whatever. And together, the third and fourth digits indicate the type of flux coating that's on the rod. So higher numbers represent more shielding and more flux being deposited. Of course, lower numbers means less flux. Now, all that information can be found online. You can just grab your phone and look it up if you want. But if you're old school like I am, I keep reference material laying around. And I picked this up at our local Friends of the Sierra Vista Library, which is a used bookstore. All the proceeds support our local library. I paid 50 cents for this. So I keep all kinds of reference material like this sitting around, and many times I'll just sit in my chair by my desk for hours just going through this stuff, because it's useful information and you're never too old to learn something. Okay, we're still maintaining our 45-degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp the caster onto here and tack weld it on there. right, we're all tacked up here on both sides. So now what I got to do is pull the sub base off the drill press, and then do a little math to figure out how long this has got to be. Cut that back 135 degrees, which is the reciprocal of 45, because I'm going to cut the well, I'll show you when we get ready to do all the cutting and angling of the dangling. I'll show you, and then we'll tack that onto the base and see how our wheel contacts and how far off the floor the very bottom of the sub base is. So I had a little fun here, and I did some floor layout for something different. I've got a nice straight line in the groove cut in the cement floor of my shop. So I just lined up this top section here with that groove cut. And then I marked the floor where the wheel is. That represents the total height from here to the floor. And then what I did was I took that same distance from the groove line to there. I marked it over here, and I scribed a line along here, you know, with the welding pencil to just represent the floor surface. Then I measured up from that 1 inch and put a mark here where the 1 inch from here intersected that, and scribed a mark there, laid it all out. That is the reciprocal of 45 degrees is 135 degrees there. And that will represent the bottom of the sub base to the drill press. So when these dumpster wheels are sitting on the floor, the bottom of the sub base will be 1 inch above the floor. So let me cut this out. And actually, I got to repeat this 3 more times. I got a critter flying around in here. Anyway, I got to repeat that 3 more times. We'll tack weld it all onto the new sub base, basically to create a giant roller skate. And then we'll bring you back and show you it all assembled. It sure doesn't take long, does it? Okay, we're probably starting to get the gist of what I'm talking about here. This may wind up being a little wider than what I want, but I'll just see what it looks like when it's all together, and then if it looks like it's too wide, I'll shorten it up this way a little bit. But it's certainly going to be stable and portable. I apologize, I forgot to show you guys that I cut this back at a 45 degree angle on the sub base, so I could take the bracket for the caster and just butt it up there and tack weld it on. And this is what you saw in the previous clip about me laying that out to 135 degrees and cutting that. So that's all one straight surface now. Okay, so it looks like the wheel sticks below the hub. Let me measure that. Sorry about the crappy camera work. 7/8 of an inch. I was shooting for 1 inch, but that's close enough. Okay, so I'm gonna make 3 more of these, tack weld them together, and tack them onto here into a giant roller skate, set it on the ground, and then see if it looks ridiculously wide, or I can cut these tacks, move the wheel closer to this. I kind of miscalculated that, as you can see. I was thinking it was going to be a 1/2 inch clearance. It's more like, 3 inch clearance. So I can bring this way 2.5 inches and then cut this off here appropriately, which will narrow it up. We'll just see. I'll put this together and we'll just see how it looks. I don't know what's gotten into me today. That almost looks halfway like maybe a decent weld. So I went ahead and cut this loose and moved it in, cut this off, and then welded this back on. The total width across here is 44 inches. And I sat this on the floor with a piece of 1 inch square tubing supporting the opposite end, and I am exactly 1 inch from this edge to the floor. In the previous clip I measured and it was 7/8, but now that I got it down on the floor, it's 1 inch, what I was shooting for, so I'm happy about that. So I am going to cut these 45-degree ears off here on both sides, get this back on the floor on the square tubing all lined up, and then I'm going to fit these other 2 brackets with the casters on there, and then make sure everything is level and sitting plumb. Weld those on. I've got a 2-inch steel block that I'm going to weld on this end, because I've only got 4 of the dumpster casters. I have 2 other casters, but they're 5 1/4, not 7 1/4. They're just going to act kind of like a wheelie bar, because this is the end the motor's going to go on. And I'll weld a 2-inch block off of here, weld those casters on, and then I will have one giant roller skate. That's level. That's level. That's level. Good. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. Just gotta weld the blocks on this end and put the smaller casters on, and then weld it all up. I'll do all that off camera, because I mean, just sitting there watching me weld is kind of boring. It's just starting to look like the critters that crawl around here in the summertime. Okay, well, there it is. I only had 4 dumpster casters, but I had a couple of smaller ones in the Horde. This is going to be back where the motor mounts, so it's going to act more like a wheelie bar. But yeah, I think that's going to work. The vertical wing idea came from a viewer, Ron Clues. He frequently comments on my videos, offers great suggestions. So since I was dealing with smaller casters, I figured I'd give his idea a try here on the front. And then we'll just see how this all holds up with the weight of the drill press on it. over time. Keep them falling on my face. You gotta let the badger loose once in a while. Well, that's it for this one. It was fun. I've got to finish doing a little welding on those last two wings with the smaller casters and do a little trim work. And then, I can't paint yet because I still got to rig up a motor mount, but this video is getting awful long, so we will do the motor mount on the next video. Then we'll get it all painted up and bolted to the drill press. But that's going to be after my El Dorado days preps, because that's coming up in 3 weeks. I got a lot of work to do to the pump jack trailer, so I'll film some of that, and that should be fun. Welcome, new subscribers. Glad you're here. Existing subscribers, as always, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you guys are all enjoying this, building this sub base for this drill press. We'll just see how it works. I may have to cut it apart and redo it after I get it on there and see how it moves around. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon on the next one. Bye for now.